Marvel Legends, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax the Destroyer, Moondragon. Let's get it. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. This time courtesy of Marvel Legends. We have, you see it in front of you, a 2-pack. This is a Pulse, Hasbro Pulse exclusive representing the Guardians of the Galaxy. We have Drax the Destroyer and we have Moondragon. A father-daughter team. Last time we had a father-daughter team was also an exclusive way back in the day, a Toys R Us exclusive. It was Scott Lang, Ant-Man, and his daughter Cassie Lang as Stinger. And now fast forward to today, and we've got another exclusive and another father-daughter team. So here we go. You see the packaging right there. You see the 3D rendering of both figures on the cover there, and you see they're both sporting their accessory pieces, the additional head sculpt and open hands for Drax and the open hands for our girl Moondragon. You see the Guardians of the Galaxy logo down below, and of course you've got that Marvel Legends logo topside. We have, speaking of topside, at the top, the Guardians of the Galaxy logo. On the side, we have, having to tip it so you could see it all, some artwork of Heather and her father, Arthur, aka Moondragon and Drax. And then on the other side, we have more 3D renders of the figures themselves. And then on the back, we've got more 3D renders. And of course, you can see the accessories they come with. Drax comes with an additional head sculpt and a set of hands. They're all grasping a C gripper and a more open grasping hand. And Moondragon comes with a set of the typical female hands that we always get with nearly every female character. We're going to go ladies first, for no other reason than she's a new character. Talking about our girl Moondragon here. Always happy to add new characters to the fold, and Moondragon's definitely a welcome addition. She's going to go right onto my cosmic shelf, which is in a state of disarray because we've gotten so many space faring characters lately. It was time to change out and rearrange, and so I can get them all fitted in. I'm not really going to take any away. I just need to find a better way of posing them. Of course, the best way of doing that is to put a good portion of them in flight poses. You know what I'm saying? Use all space available. That includes vertical space. Anyhow, back to our girl Moondragon. We have a she comes on obviously female buck. There's some reuse, and the reuse comes in the form of her arms. We do get the single jointed swiveling arms, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice to get the double jointed pinless arms. We do get the pinless legs. You could see the substance of the legs. They got some shape to them, and they won't be gummy from a practical standpoint, so she should stand nicely, especially since she's rocking flat feet. I believe Moondragon is usually sporting heels. In this particular costume, I'd have to go back to see. I know that back in the day, she would sport heels. And speaking of back in the day, and talking about her attire, heels notwithstanding, this is not the classic Moondragon. Let's just say that the Moondragon that we grew up with, she was a little more risque. She started out as Madam Menace, a bad guy, if you will, and she, like I said, her attire was skimpy, to say the least. Yes, indeed. Anyway, she has, we'll call it, covered up in recent times. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, she actually wears even more now than what we've got here. So Hasbro's found a way to compromise. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is how it goes down with our Moondragon, and I'm not mad. I think she looks good, especially that head sculpt. And as I stated, it is a very, very beautiful portrait of our girl Heather here. I tell you, Hasbro and their digital face print technology leaps and bounds. The faces look more realistic, which is always a plus, and more human. And in terms of Moondragon right now, also I want to point out that, and I've been on this for a few videos now concerning neutral expressions. Here's a case of having a neutral expression but not being expressionless. You see what I'm saying? She doesn't have that deer in the headlights look. She does have a, I mean, some of those angles is just crazy. I'm looking at her, and yeah, it looks very realistic. Her lipstick is on point. Everything is nice, turned in profile. She's blazing the crescent moon earrings. Very nice. The eyebrows. And that's where the expression's coming in. It's all in the eyes. It's all in the eyes. If you make the eyes the proper way, even if you play the neutral game, it's going to look like she's something's on her mind, or she, you know, it has an expression. That's basically what I could say about that. Then you look at the collar for that cape, and there's one thing about the cape I do want to mention, and that it's basically windswept to Moondragon's right, and with some collectors that won't sit well because it does kind of limit posing options. So they would rather, if you're going to have limitations to your ability to pose with the cape, there are some collectors that would rather have the cape be in, once again using that word, neutral, in a neutral position, just draped straight down on both sides. I'm cool with it because it does make it look pretty good, dynamically speaking, but you know, different strokes, different folks. So yeah, but that's where if you have issues with it, that's where going third party and finding a soft goods cape. As far as the rest of the cape is concerned, there is a clasp. You see that crescent moon clasp there at the front there, and there's that detail in the upper torso I was speaking on, and I'll let that go. We won't stick around with that anymore. Looking at the rest of her, she you can see that her arms are actually molded in green and painted flesh color, just like right there. I have to go back to that area because it's actually sculpted. There's line work there for that triangle, and you know, within the triangle is flesh tone paint. And then when you go down, you can see that even though Moondragon's powers are of the mind, she does maintain her physique. The abs are popping right there, as you can see. Then going down, you see the colors there on the lower at the bottom of the hip section area, and then of course the legs are molded in green, as you can see there, and they are pinless. Gotta love that. So that's what we got going on. And then in terms of the back, you got that cape. I'm gonna lift the cape up so you can see that there really is nothing else going on in the back there. And yeah, but that's our Moondragon, and her head turned a little bit, and I like that look right there. Peeping out Mooney's articulation. Her head, that beautiful head, is on a ball hinge, so she could look up that much. She could look down that much. She gives you attitude, which is really necessary with that expression. And of course, she could 360 it right there. In terms of the shoulders, she can get a little bit better than 90. She can do the 360, but of course, the cape is going to impede those single jointed elbows I told you about with the swivel. We've seen that, done that, been there, done that. She's got the swiveling wrists and the horizontal hinges, and that's on all of her hands. As far as her torso is concerned, she's got the diaphragm, which means what? She's not going to give you much going forward. Going back, she's not going to give you too much either. It goes back, but the cape is going to impede somewhat, but you can get it back there, so that's pretty cool. She can lean with it, rock with it side to side, and you can get your rotation at that diaphragm as well. Hips, she can do the splits that far out, kick a little bit better than 90, go back decently. She's got the thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knees. Always gotta love that. And she can point the toe that far forward. That is very nice. She can get it up pretty decent as well. You go, Dragon. And she's got the ankle pivot. And where would we be without holes, peg holes, at the bottom of her feet? Next up, we've got Big Daddy himself. And I should say no pun intended, but it is intended because this guy is big and he is a daddy. We're talking about Drax the Destroyer. And yeah, this guy is he's definitely huge. He's an amalgam of several parts, I believe. I think I see some monster venom in there, some Caliban in there. There's a lot going on here, but it's come out to look good. He is huge. The way how he was portrayed during this time period, when he was this large. Let me give you a little backstory real quick on this particular version of Drax. Drax, when he first came on the scene back in the 70s, I believe it was in Iron Man. I want to say it was in Iron Man. And he had this look, but he was, we'll say, normal sized, okay? But he did have this particular look. And then you fast forward, and in the Avengers, he ended up getting deleted by his daughter Heather, aka Moondragon. So then you fast forward some more. Now we're talking about in the pages of the Silver Surfer, he gets resurrected by Cronus, and Cronus is like the we'll call him the Big Daddy Eternal, and to fight Thanos, and he comes back this size, right? I mean, just straight up huge, and but there's something went wrong during the resurrection process. He was about as smart as a bag of rocks, and he was given a this I mean, totally just insatiable drive to find and destroy Thanos. And that's all he would do. He's able to sense if you've come in contact with Thanos, so he'd try to get to Thanos through you. And you could tell him you don't know where Thanos is. He doesn't care. He knows that you were in contact, so let him know. Or he was going to beat you up too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then you fast forward again, and he gets deleted again. We'll say that. And then he gets resurrected again, and now he is back to we'll call it a normal size. He's like 6'4" normally, and his strength was severely impacted. It was like cut in half, more or less. This version of Drax, you can straight up just say he's Hulk level, and then he actually over time he returned to this particular outfit, though not as big as this right there. So that gives you an idea. Later on, I'll give you some comparisons so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's just to give you a little something on Drax there. That took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Took about 3 minutes of explaining that. So it's time to get into this. Hopefully that helps a little bit on how Drax got to this look and this size. He always had this look, but how he got to that size is, yeah. And you could see him totally in this size in the pages of the Silver Surfer and in Warlock and the Infinity Watch. So here we go. Got him up close and personal for you guys to see. And this, of course, is the head sculpt that he comes out of packaging with. I'm not too happy, but I'm not really enraged look yet. He's very serious. Why so serious? He's got that look going on, and it's pretty good. The face print technology once again coming through. Look at that profile there. Look at that right there. That's, I mean, I'm really loving where our action figure collecting has taken us, where Hasbro's improvements have brought us to. We're not all the way there yet, but they're definitely on their way. This is pretty good. It's looking great. Looking at his cape, you see he's got that skull as a clasp for his cape, which is, purplish color. And something about Marvel and green and purple. You got Drax, the Green Goblin, the Hulk himself. Yeah, something about that. Anyway, you go down and you see those massive arms going on, and you see he's an older buck at with the arms, so they are pinned, of course, and the same thing with the legs, they're pinned as well. But it looks pretty good. I mean, we're only dealing with 3 colors here. He's got the belt is loose there, and it's molded in a gold plastic, and he's got the skull and crossbones there. His wrist gauntlets, also separate pieces there, molded in that gold. And yeah, it was pretty nice. I'll turn to the back and lift up. You see that there's nothing going on. The paintwork goes on the back there, so that's looking pretty nice as well. Drax's articulation scheme is as follows. His head is on a ball hinge. He can get his head up to that. That's pretty decent, which is good because as big as he is, believe it or not, he is a flyer. He can look down that far. He does have the 360, but of course his collar is going to impede that, and you get very little pivot, but that's okay. Shoulders, he can get them up and do 90. He can rotate them, but once again, the collar is going to impede, and you can get bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, that of course is pinned. You can get 90 with that. He's got the rotating wrists, and they're horizontal at the hinge. In terms of his torso, he's got an ab crunch, and he can go forward that far. You heard the click. He can go back that far, which is great considering he has a cape. It's not really impeding. He's got waist swivel in there, so you got that going on. He can do the splits, which is crazy for a big guy. And he can lift his leg forward nearly 90. Go back decently. He's got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinned knees, as you can see there. He doesn't have a boot swivel. I would think that he would. He can point his toe forward that great, which is cool. Big guy, he's a ballerina. He can get it up that much. He's got ankle pivot. And our boy Drax has got holes, pec holes, at the bottom of his feet. Now here's the comparison that I really wanted to show you guys, because the Drax that we kind of sort of are familiar with because of the movies on our right there, that is imagine Drax in big guy's costume, but on that body. He used to be normal size, like I said, but he was dressed the way how our 2-pack version is dressed. And then after he was taken out by his daughter and was resurrected, he came back as this guy on our left there. And then he ended up getting deleted again by a whole bunch of cosmic bad guys, including the Blood Brothers. That would be a great 2-pack right there of figures, or even just one, and you get them twice over because they're identical twins, and a couple of other bad guys. I believe Lunatic. You're gonna have to look all these people up. Was part of that dog piling on Drax where they took him out. Then he was resurrected again, and he came back as what we got there on the right, more or less normal size, about 6'4", and was only about half as strong, give or take, as he previously was. And then, of course, he went on to join the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you fast forward to now, and he's back to wearing this particular costume, the one on the left again, only at a more normal size. I do think that the artists take license and they draw him kind of big, but I don't think they draw him to this 7-foot size or 8-foot, whatever size he's supposed to be on our left. And now this segment is my special celebratory segment. Why? Because with the acquisition of this Drax, I get to retire that Drax. Yes, indeed. For years, I've had a custom of Drax, and, because I always loved him in that form, and got a custom commissioned years and years and years ago. And I actually had him put away once he was transformed, if you will, resurrected into his smaller iteration. But I'm glad that I'm able to officially retire him and put him in the custom graveyard. Getting a height measurement of our father-daughter team here. Drax is coming in at about 8¼ inches tall, whereas Moondragon, she's rocking at about 6¼ inches tall. So yeah, Drax is a full 2 inches taller than his baby girl. Here are both Drax and Mooney blazing their accessories. We've got Drax with the angry mouth open head and his open hands, and of course Moondragon, she came with the female gesturing hands that all females tend to come with. And so yeah, there you have it. Here's a look at that other Drax head up close, so you could see very nice detail with this too. This is great for if you're having him in battle, but I think I like the we'll call it neutral head sculpt better. And if you want to rock Drax without his cape, here's what you got going on there. So wrapping this one up, the Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse exclusive Guardians of the Galaxy representatives. We're talking about Drax the Destroyer and Moondragon, father-daughter, Arthur and Heather Douglas. Very nice 2-pack. I'm happy for both these figures. Drax especially because it replaces my custom. Plus, I've always loved this version of Drax. Big, brawny. He's about his level of intellect makes the Savage Hulk look like Albert Einstein. It's just a very good time to be a Drax fan. And then of course you've got Moondragon, and she's looking pretty good too. The only caveat I would have with Moondragon is we didn't get pinless arms. We did get the rest of the pinless legs looking very nice. The body is great. Like I said, she's definitely been doing her sit-ups because the abs are popping. The face sculpt is absolutely gorgeous. Some of Hasbro's best work when it comes to her portrait. The speaking of portraits, both head sculpts for Drax the Destroyer look very good. I'm sporting the angrier head sculpt here, as you can see. He also came with an additional set of hands, just as Moondragon did. Speaking of that, I failed to mention that the right grasping hand that you see Drax wearing now has a vertical hinge, so keep that in mind. Yeah, this is a very nice set, and it would do well in anybody's collection. This is definitely going on my cosmic shelf, and yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty nice. So like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this set here. You like them both? You like only one or the other? Are you going to skip it because you only want one or the other, or you definitely get it because you want both, or are you just going to bite the bullet and get it because you want one and we'll just deal with the other? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, and then whatever you decide to do, you go on out and you do you, because that's how it gets done.